Hi all, I've got an interesting game I believe for a Post Mortem. Someone played what is identified as the Nimzovich variation of the Sicilian defence. I played e4 and after c5 Nc3 Nc6, standard so far, played d4, yep, black took, I took, and now he surprised me with a novelty move. I believe I played him before and I just thought it was a rubbish move. I think I managed to win one or two of the earlier games. I'm sure I played him a few times now. So there's d5, and it seems in the variation I made up this time, I just was completely equalised. Black was even just better, very, very quickly. I played bishop b5 check, and basically the continuation was like this. Took knight takes c6, thinking I was winning a rook, to be honest. But after taking, he's got a6, and I've got virtually nothing. You can see from the Ribka thing, it's virtually to zero white's advantage because of this pin now on the bishop. I'm losing my piece back, and I looked at also chessgames.com in this position, and Zwaita played f5 and won a game. It's already looking great for black after g6. This is how, she played it as well. So black's doing fine with this like fianchetto idea. Bishop g7, e5. That's got a fine position. My king's just in the center, exposed, and if black gets in, a nice structure with e4, like in the game, that's good winning chances. Before going on to the game, let's quickly look at what I could have done with the help of Ribka. In this variation, bishop e3, allowing knight takes, and now knight c3 here is apparently it's good for white. For example, knight c2 is a disaster. So I just take a pawn sack, but check, castle queen sides, rook takes d7, rook d1, that'll be end of game basically. But black has better here. So I'll promote this variation, e takes d5. So bishop e3, knight takes. Instead of knight takes, let's say e6. So here, knight c3, bishop e4 is in chess games opening explorer. But there's an interesting move here which Rip came up with earlier, which may be worth a punt. You're not seeing it here at the moment, surprisingly. I thought it would have been featured there because I've got some stored analysis with queen g4. So if we leave this depth go up, we have queen g4. This could be an interesting antidote to the whole system if this pin is what the opponent was relying on in this variation. So queen g4, so it's attacking g7. If knight takes, bishop takes, now e5. So forcing the queen virtually to take on g7. Queen takes d4. Now here there's only one move to keep the advantage. Forget rook d1 because the bishop c3 check. The only move is check, bishop b5 check, king e7, and now just simply casting, getting the king out of there. So just the whole piece down, and white's getting a big advantage now. So let's have a look. Bishop g4, it's like rook d1, just offering exchange set, because this is crushing now, this kind of thing, with black getting mated. If it's not bishop g4, take bishop e6, queen takes h8, so the exchange out I believe, now just taking on h7 or even stronger rook ad1. Now a nice tactical move here, which I probably never see if it wasn't shown it. Bishop d7. So what's the idea? Bishop takes, knight d5. It all gets a bit messy tactically. So here, c3 apparently. Well, I guess now if bishop a5 there's b4. And this is starting to be a huge advantage for white. So basically that's the... So to play against this surprise system, it seems one has to play extremely dynamically with a temporary piece sacrifice. But I'll promote that variation with e6. So right mouse click, promote variation. And just this queen g4 could be the right antidote. I guess let's have a quick look at knight g7. Take g7. So queen f6, not queen takes h7. queen f6, that keeps hold of the d4 square. Now takes queen d4, that's a good slight advantage, I think, at least. It's knight f5, bishop f6, castles, that'll be fine, I think. Follow this a bit further. Black's got a lot of pressure though. Bishop can retreat here. Still think White's got a nagging advantage. So in the game, it was awful. If we go back to the game, basically, I played bishop b5 and took so I virtually had no advantage whatsoever at the opening. And to top things off, I created a massive pass pawn for black. This e4, so very dangerous potentially, this pass pawn. And black expertly used c5 to put even more pressure on my position now, and the knight was rerouting to c5 now, so excellent play from black, and making use of that d3 square. Brilliant stuff, knight d3, and you can see black's got the advantage now. So not only this big pass pawn, but also that beautiful knight outpost, and I was torn apart really, losing a pawn here. I should have tried knight d5 to try and hold on if takes the knight c7, but you can see black's got the advantage clearly, and my position just came worse, it deteriorated. And there was another fantastic manoeuvre by black, the king all the way round to this way to support the pass pawn. So it was like a sort of rugby scrum coming down the board, you know, for this pass pawn. Quite amusing really. And they just completely lost position now because of this huge pass pawn. And knight e5 crowning the queen without even letting me sack a rook. And I lost, losing on time as well at this stage. So beautiful game from my opponent, beautiful surprise opening. I just hope this antidote could work next time. So basically after d5, instead of bishop b5, this line, so where I could be playing queen g4, I guess knight takes d4, that's, oh sorry, knight takes d5, that's why black plays bishop b4. So now queen g4, and it could be difficult for black. But even in that line, you know, there's a little bit of counterplay to factor in. So, you know, maybe it's an interesting surprise opening for black, what he's played here. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks so much.